meron akong share na may theory ako. And please correct me kung meron kayong evidence to the contrary. Meron akong theory kasi na in every bear cycle, meron isang sacrificial lamb na brand name, very respected brand name, and mamamatay siya during the bear cycle. So I observed this for the first time in 2013, Mt. Gox, single most important crypto exchange in the world at the time, no? And then it collapsed as part of it. That was kind of what triggered yung pababa na at that time. I mean, obviously we know FTX, no, from the previous one. But in 2017, slightly less known, there was CoinCheck, no? There was a Japanese exchange, also very important at the time. Last year, I thought it was going to be Bybit. Remember how there was a really, really big Bybit hack last year? So I thought, oh my God, it was one of the largest hacks in crypto history, and I really thought it was going to be Bybit. But they somehow survived, no? I mean, to the credit of Bybit's team, they managed to survive. So now I think, actually, you're gonna not like I think the sacrificial lamb for this cycle is gonna be MicroStrategy.
Ito pa. Nils, ako na baro sa'yo. Ito tatlo.
So basically, I think the point is that every time the market gets very, very hot, there's usually some kind of flagship product na nagdadala ng market. No? And usually what happens, either by human pride or whatever, or maybe greed or something, they make a mistake somewhere. And as a result, babagsak sila, and usually that will coincide with the rest of the market kind of going down at the same time.
Damay-damay.
Yeah. Because honestly, a lot of these things are interlocked. If you are a popular crypto brand like FTX, you've got investments in things like Solana, the entire ecosystem of Solana, you've got Terra and all of that stuff, that you bring co-investors with you in. And so, a lot of these people trust you because, again, you are the flagship brand of that cycle. And as a result, you all kind of go down together, and as a result, you get these very exciting red candles. No? I wanted to just echo something that. So anyway, by the way, that's just a theory. I'm not saying that MicroStrategy is gonna collapse. I'm not saying that. Although,
we'll take note of that.
I kind of feel like there's something dangerous with what he's doing, and there's too much leverage. No? So that's kind of why I'm a little afraid. No? The other thing I wanted to just echo with yung sinabi ni Kuyang earlier, this is a very dangerous time to be shorting because one of the things that, here, I'll show you, I hope you guys can see this, no? So this is the candle, this is the wick. The wick is like 4 times larger than the body of the candle. What that means is there's so much volatility inside that one candle that you could be right about shorting and instantly be wrong within that same intra candle, no? And the reason why I'm very confident when I say that is that's been happening to me very repeatedly recently. Kasi ayoko makinig, no? So like, honestly, it's like, as I said, I find these times very exciting, and maybe I have too much time on my hands, no? So I keep opening leverage shorts, exactly what Kuyang said he shouldn't do, you shouldn't do, I wasn't listening. And I keep learning that, okay, you're really not supposed to do that. No? Because no matter how correct you are in the long term, it's actually more likely that you'll get stopped out, right? Or liquidated, even on the way to being corrected. Because there's enough movement up and down that you could be right at the end of the candle, but in the middle of the candle, you've already been burned there, so you never make it. Huh? So I've been finding that out a lot recently. And if you look at these charts, kasi it seems like I could probably play in this. I can buy low and sell high. But dude, these wicks are insane. Like you will get stopped out for sure. So ayun lang. I guess I've kind of just learned that a little bit recently. I don't know kung, Rich, were you able to add my slide? I'll just, quickly lang, So this is the opposite of Kuyang's chart, no? Kasi his chart is very sophisticated. Mine is literally just drawings. I guess I just wanted to show kasi yung history of Bitcoin price over the years. And This is kind of roughly where I started. No? So 2014, one Bitcoin could buy you roughly a motorcycle, 50,000 pesos, no? And actually, don't look at what's down here, no? If you look at what's on the top, kasi, it looks like all you have to do is hold Bitcoin, no? Just hold Bitcoin because in 2017, yung 50K mo became worth 1 million. You could buy a Vios with it. And then by 2021, you could buy a Ranger. This is an F1. You have the 3 million. And then by 2024, you could buy a Beamer. It seems easy, no? All you have to do is just hold it. Pero, in reality, what's actually happening is, you went from 50K in 2014 to 10,000 pesos in 2015. So your motorcycle became a bicycle. But your bicycle, actually, so here's the genius part, no? If you bought at the bicycle price, you suddenly get a Vios. That's 100. Pretty good, no? This is a good one. Pero, if you held it, you would then end up with tricycle money, right? The following year. So, to be fair, na-upgrade yung motor mo. Not that, no? So this is kind of the definition of so parang you go from angkas to angkas to tricycle driver. Better, right? Maybe that's not better. But the point is, this is what you're looking at. No? Ganun ka wild yung swing. Now, again, 2018, okay, so 150K gets you 1 Bitcoin. You hold it to 2021. Nice. Pretty good, no? So that's a good upgrade. Tricycle to Ford Ranger. Yeah. Or F1 pala, sorry, F1. And then yun, bit of a downgrade. Now it's a Wigo. This is a Wigo. 1.1 liter engine. Not so great. Okay lang. Not super impressive. But then you hold that and suddenly you're Beamer territory. And 2024 by 2025 you were 5 million, 6 million pesos. Right? So it actually even kept going up. Anyway, the point is that it's pretty wild. I don't expect it to be any less wild. I expect that it will be kind of still as wild as this, and you will feel like you are either a genius or an idiot, depending on which year we're talking about. And I'm glad that we can still fill a room here in Bitbulaga, because hopefully you're not feeling like idiots yet. No? So I mean, ako naman, I'm pretty humble about this stuff. I just feel like both a genius and an idiot at the same time sometimes. We really don't know You have no idea what is actually going to happen. I really want to hear what Alvin's going to say in this stuff also. Because honestly, I've never been more confused. Even having done all of this, having lived through all of this, I'm still really confused about what's going to happen this year. Kasi parang the drawdown that I keep waiting for is not happening. And it's already the end of January. I was really expecting more of a drawdown. And that's the part that, I guess that's the part that I really want to figure out. Are we following the path that you would normally follow? Or has something fundamentally changed? That part, I'm still kind of confused. So I'm very excited to hear the rest of the panel and also
Yeah. I'd like to comment dito. Ito yung tinext ko sa'yo. Nakita ko yung presentation ni Luis in one of the events also here. No? Sabi ko sa kanya kanina. Sabi ko, bro, present mo yun. Kasi it's really important na maintindihan ng audience yung cycle. Di ba? Hindi yung bicycle at saka yung tricycle. Hindi yan. Yung cycle ng crypto. So ano yung ibig sabihin nito? No? Ang interpretation ko dito is we need to take profits. Di ba? Hindi tayo pwede nag-round trip. Kasi ano nangyayari dito, if hindi ka nag-take profit, na meron ka ng 1 million, and then suddenly, it became 150. Di ba? And then, meron ka 3 million, suddenly it became 750. Di ba? Tapos 4.2, then you know what I mean, di ba? So, I've been trading the market for almost 2 decades, and one of the easiest market to trade is Bitcoin. Because of the cycle. Because of the Fourier cycle. Galing ako ng PSE, hirapan ako doon. Kasi cycle nun, 8 years, minsan 10 years, minsan 12 years. Isang bull market. Okay? So ito, 4-year cycle. Nung naintindihan ko yung 4-year cycle, I shifted all my funds sa Bitcoin. Sabi ko, dali basahin ito. Kasi, if you know yung cycle, naiintindihan mo yung cycle, you can buy at the bear market and then sell the bull market. But the reason why we're doing this event, even in down new market, is because we want you guys to understand yung importance in buying during bear market. Kasi, believe me, pagdating ng bull market, when Bitcoin goes above 120, puno na naman itong room na to. Baka hanggang doon sa high street na nanonood, di ba? Pero ngayon, maluwag tayo. So, that's the reality. So, pero kung naiintindihan mo how the cycle works, mas madali siyang i-trade compared to other assets. Diba? Mas madali siyang i-trade compared to other assets. Ngayon, last year, there was really a lot of, I would say, predictions, diba, during the bull market last year. And a lot of people are saying, yeah, this cycle is different. Diba? March pa lang yata yun, or July, this cycle is different. A lot of people are saying this cycle is different. In my community, I always say, no, this cycle is the same until proven otherwise. So, nag-antay kami. Nag-antay ako, sabi ko, kasi kung makikita niyo yung presentation ni Kuyang, balikan pa. Yeah, okay. Kung makikita niyo yung presentation ni Kuyang nito, nag-peak siya last time ng November 2020. So, plus 4 years. So, I'm expecting na probably November 2024, pwede rin siya mag-peak. Okay? So, sabi ko, kung this cycle is different last year, no? Kung this cycle is different last year, dapat tinulak na to. Dapat nag-all-time high pa rin tayo ngayon. Ganun kasimple lang yung analogy. This cycle is really different. Dapat nasa all-time high pa rin tayo ngayon. At hindi tayo, walang ganito. Diba? But, again, if you look at the chart, if you look at this, double top, bear flag. This is a bear flag. This is a bear flag. It's a chart. So, as a technical analyst, lagi akong loyal dun sa chart eh. This is the beauty of technical analysis. You can discard all these noises eh, these predictions and all, no? Pag tinignan mo yung chart, parang parehas sila eh. Diba? Parang parehas sila. Nag-iiba lang, tama yun yung sinasabi nila, nag-iiba lang yung narrative, nag-iiba lang yung casualty. So sabi nga ni Luis, maybe si strategy yung casualty this time, diba? We really don't know. So, a lot of people also are asking me, sabi nila, kasi during this, as early as January, saan si January dyan? 2025. Dito. Ito, di ba? This is the November eh. Ito yung, nung na-elect si Donald Trump, ito, you observe ito because this incident will probably repeat in the next cycle. Nung na-elect si Donald Trump, nag-rally na yung market. Actually, hindi pa siya nauupo. Lumawang pa lang siya sa election, nag-pump na. Okay? Wala pa nangyayari. Wala pang Bitcoin Strategic Reserve, wala pang Clarity Act, wala pang stablecoin bill. Pinump na yung market. Nauna na yung market. Okay? Dahil bullish. And during this time, I remember, I have a reels sa Facebook that I was saying that this is the start of the ending. Okay, this is the start of the ending. This is the start of the euphoria stage, no? So, meaning, mag-i-start na siyang umakyat, maybe going parabolic, maybe, or double top, and it will start to collapse. So, dito pa lang yan. So, but ito yung January, we started selling, we started taking profit. Everything that we bought nung summer here. We started taking profits. November pa lang, nung na-elect, I started selling at 90 hanggang 105. Okay, bakit? Sabi na, yung mga nagko-comment dun sa Reels, sabi niya, kakaupo pa lang ni Donald Trump, bakit nagbebenta ka na? Hindi ka pinaiintindihan yung cycle. This cycle is different. Kasi, so benta ako dyan. Benta ako somewhere. January, I sold everything January. Paano ko nalaman na malapit na matapos yung cycle. Okay? There are 4 stages of a bull market. So a bull is born during the most pessimistic time of the year. During the most pessimistic time pala, not the pessimistic time of the year, the most pessimistic time. So kailan yun? Yung FTX collapse. Dito, pinanganak na yung bull. Pero, walang gustong pumansin sa kanya kasi maliit pa rin siya. Hindi natin alam. Diba? Bull is born here. And then, lumalaki yung bull during skepticism stage. Skepticism stage is where, nung umaakyat na siya, sinasabi ng tao, hindi, bababa pa yan. Hindi pa yan. Magbobottom pa yan. And then, some people also are saying, hindi, rally na, aakyat na yan. So, hindi nagkakasundo. There are skeptics also. And then, it matures during optimism stage, right? Somewhere here, during optimism stage, mature na siya. Lahat na, sige, bull market na, game na, bull market na, pasok na yung iba. Diba? Yung mga skeptics, pumapasok na during optimism stage. Right? And a bull dies in euphoria. A bull dies in euphoria. Nung na-elect si Donald Trump, sabi ko, this is the start of the ending because this is the start of euphoria because everybody wants to be in crypto. Because we have the greatest KOL in the world, diba, who is now President of the United States. Okay? Tumulak. Makyat, nag-correct, tariff, nakita natin yung ugali niya, talagang malikot, no? Every tweet niya, nagko-collapse sa Bitcoin. But what triggered my selling was, I received several texts from friends, and friends of friends invited me for dinner. Ang pera nito, mga billionaires in the Philippines, invite me in dinner. Paano ba pumasok sa crypto? Pwede pa ba kami humabol? Pwede pa ba kami bumili ng Bitcoin? How about Ethereum? So sabi ko, Tito, next cycle na po. Patapos na po ito. Sabi niya, di ba nakakaupo lang ni Donald Trump? Aakyat pa tayo. Kakalagpas ng 100K. January yan. They invited me in their mansion. First time ko lang kita ng mansion ng pare. Sabi ko, ganda pala itsura ng mansion. May swimming pool sa loob. Hindi ko ng bahay. Kailangan ko na magbenta. I need to sell. So, those events na minsan hindi mo nakikita, no? Pero if you have experienced the whole cycle several times, and even in the stock market, you will realize na yung mga events na, oh yeah, I really need to take profit. Because someone who has a lot of money, who doesn't know, who doesn't invest in crypto, who is very conservative, now suddenly wants to buy Bitcoin. So that's the time to sell. Alright? So ngayon, pabalik na tayo ulit. I hope may mga nakapag-take profit. Sino nakapag-take profit? Ayan. Yung iba, take picture lang. TV lang, mga nakatake picture. Alright? Yung iba, nag-take picture na lang eh. Kasi sabi ni Sisi, super cycle. Ayan. Okay? So right now, that's why it's really important that you're lucky that you're here. Because ito yung time, 2026 and maybe 2027 is one of the best years to start accumulating. Kasi pagbaba na naman natin dito, antayin mo na naman may mag-flash. No, you just wait for this one. Maybe somewhere mga second half yan. Dito na yan. Diba? And then, ito isang observation ko. 1 year from its peak, yun yung bottom. Kaya sabi ni Kuya kanina, probably October. Bakit? Kasi October tayo nag-peak. Last cycle, November tayo nag-peak. Nag-bottom tayo. November. 2 years after nag-bottom tayo. Diba? So, there's a probability na 1 year after the peak, pwede mag-bottom tayo. I don't know, pwede 1 year or 2 years after the peak. So we're waiting for this. So ito yung most boring time in the market. Kasi talaga mag-aantay ka. Di ba? Pero ito yung time din in the market. I don't know if you experience this. Maybe Luis, ito yung experience mo, parang nasa kumunoy. Pag gumalaw ka ng gumalaw, lalo kang lumulubog. Di ba? Ganun yung kumunoy, di ba? Kasi there will be a lot of traders na pipilitin pa rin. Yeah, I'm gonna short this market. No, I'm gonna long this market. I'm gonna short mabukas. Kita. Ang buka next week. Kita mo, if you're watching the news, no? If you're watching the news, they're liquid. Just this January, kinukwenta ko yung mga na-liquidate. Siguro they have liquidated mga $3 billion just this January. Diba? So, kaya kada galaw mo dito, magtataka ka, bakit parang hindi ako umusad? Palubog ako ng palubog. Napakahirap i-trade ng bear market. Pero pag bull market, lahat tayo genius. Lahat tayo, kahit anong bilhin mo, lilipat. Hindi mo kailangan mag-leverage. But unfortunately, kasi pag bear market, you have to use leverage to short the market. And then, sabi mo nga kanina, dun sa mga, somewhere along the way, tama ka, pero i-stop out ka muna nila. So that's how the market works. So my suggestion is this. Don't waste your money. Diba? Trying to beat the market habang pababa siya. Because you can't. Ginawa na po namin yan last cycle. Ginawa na namin. I gave back some of my profits last cycle because I tried to trade. So kaya this cycle, what I did, pag take profit ko ng January, nilagay ko sa earn, nilagay ko doon sa mga stable coin na may yield, hanggang ngayon, nandun pa rin siya. Pero kumakaway na kayo, parang medyo gusto na lumakas eh. Hindi ka muna, tsaka muna. Yung trabaho ka muna dyan, kumikita pa naman. Diba? So this time of the year is really important kasi kailangan ready tayo. So later on, doon sa totoong presentation ko, I'm gonna share with you paano bumili. How to buy. Alright? Sige. Tapos, before mag-present si Crypto Fortune, si Aldrin, paalala lang namin na lahat ng naririnig niyo po dito is not a financial advice. Okay? So, yan po ay mga opinions namin. And, syempre, you have to be responsible doon sa inyong sariling pera. Alright? Aldrin, take it away.
Hello. Ayun,